This one had me cracking up when I seen the thumbnail, so we gotta check it out. Plastic surgeon reacts to the BBL smell. Why the BBL stink? Oh, God. Ugh.
Yeah, those BBLs be stinking.
In order
That
for you to
face.
have a BBL, you have to stink for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's the sad reality of a BBL.
Do
Hell
BBLs
no.
really smell bad? Well, let's break it down on this video today.
God, Lord, man. Y'all paying all that money just for a stanky ass booty? Come on now.
Do BBLs really smell bad? Well, let's break it down on this video today. The term BBL smell, or the phrase BBLs be smelling, is going viral on social media. People are claiming that women who undergo BBL surgeries smell bad afterwards.
Hell
Is
no.
that true? Let's hear what some people are saying.
No, if I pulled up on a baddie and that thing was stinking, I'm hitting the door. I'm walking straight out, brother.
Smell bad afterwards. Is that true? Let's hear what some people are saying.
BBL smells is trending. And there are a lot of reasons for that smell.
So I don't know what he was trained in, if he's a physician, if he is in the medical field, but he obviously has some of his own ideas.
He got a PhD in them stanky cheeks.
Now, first of all, before we hear what his thoughts are, what is a BBL? The BBL stands for Brazilian butt lift. And this is an operation where you liposuction fat from one part of the body, like the thighs, the hips, or the abdomen. We purify the fat and then inject it into the buttocks as a way to enlarge them.
Dude, that shit like horrifies me. I can't imagine anybody like cutting open my body, and I'm definitely not willing to do it just because, like, maybe if I'm dying, but I'm not like signing up for me to just like disfigure my body. I don't know, man. It freaks me out a little bit.
We purify the fat and then inject it into the buttocks as a way to enlarge them.
That just sounds like scary.
We purify the fat and then inject it into the buttocks as a way to enlarge them. We make little incisions in the buttocks to inject the fat, and then about half the fat or so will stay long term.
Sounds like
and
a
this
horror
is the most
movie.
common way that people basically enlarge their rear ends.
If someone has had a normal size behind for all of their life, and then they switch up, and now they got this big BBL, they have to reach back there and really clean. You know what I'm saying? And if they're not used to doing that, they might not know that, hey, you sweat differently. Everything is different when you add that much more meat back there. That thing
booty
can't
juice.
breathe as good.
So I think he's
They got swamp ass. The BBL baddies got that swamp ass, bruh. Worse than Shrek himself.
saying that it's harder to clean back there when your butt is so much bigger. And
Yeah, no
not
shit.
having had a BBL, I can't say for sure if that's true, but I guess theoretically that could be the case. It's
Get
just
you a loofah.
harder to maybe reach back there.
When you get a BBL, your ass is so rock hard. Like, I could barely get toilet paper and like a hand between my butt cheeks, let alone like an enema.
Bruh, come on. If I went over a girl's house and felt on them cheeks and it was like a boulder, I'm out, man. I ain't doing that. I want it to feel like natural, a human. I'm not trying to like, I don't know. I'm not smashing a mannequin, you feel me? I'm trying to have like real life connection.
When you get a BBL, your ass is so rock hard.
Boulder
like, I
cheeks.
could barely get toilet paper and like a hand between my butt cheeks, let alone like an enema. And that thing is tiny.
So there is truth here. When you undergo
get
a
a
BBL surgery,
bidet.
depending on how much fat is injected into the butt can feel real hard and firm.
Hell no.
And this is something, I used to do BBLs back in the day. I don't do them anymore. And even the ones that I did, I would only inject maybe 300 or 400 cc's into each butt cheek. Now, how much is 300 or 400 cc's? Well, it's about 1/3 to 1/2 of a 1 liter canister, or let's say a quarter of a 2 liter. So we're not talking a huge amount of fluid. And that
Still
much
a
was
lot.
enough oftentimes to cause a butt to feel pretty firm and hard. Well, there are doctors who are injecting literally 1 liter or even 2 liters into each
Holy
butt
shit.
cheek.
Can you imagine putting a whole 2 liter in your ass? Or did he say a single butt cheek? That's insane, bro.
1 liter or even 2 liters into each butt cheek. And if that's the case, can you imagine how hard those butts will be afterwards?
That's a fucking lethal weapon right there, Bubba. She sits on your face and she's like crushing your skull and not in a good way.
Can you imagine how hard those butts will be afterwards?
I think that girls just aren't wiping good enough or cleaning between their butt cheeks after they do the number 2 good enough. And that's what's stinking. So if you get a BBL, I suggest this to anyone, but I highly suggest using baby wipes to wipe.
You should do that anyways. Like, imagine rubbing shit on your arm and you just rub it with toilet paper. You're pretty much just rubbing shit on your skin. I'm a defender of baby wipes. I like them. Just don't flush them or get a bidet. I've never tried one of those, but I ain't against it. I'll try it. Fuck it. Before I clicked on this video, I thought like the BBL smell was like some chemical smell. I didn't know it was actual like doo-doo.
I suggest this to anyone, but I highly suggest using baby wipes to wipe.
So that tends to be the most common hypothesis of why BBLs smell, is that people just aren't able to wipe back there as well as they ideally should. One other option other than baby wipes, though, is to get a bidet, because that's a great way to clean your bottom without having to kind of
pressure
really
wash
reach
that
back
thing.
there. But there are other theories that are being presented for the BBL smell of why this is happening. So let's hear from a guy who I think looks like a real expert at BBL.
And in the club, sometimes it do leave a little trail.
A little doo-doo smell.
Know? Like we could be in the section and it could be like 2 or 3 BBL baddies, and you wondering like who the hell got cheesy fries? You know, like who got their socks out? You know, something don't smell right. It ain't the champagne, it ain't the Hennessy. It be them BBLs, and when they bundled up together, it's like a trash pile. You know.
Please never describe it like that again. That shit almost made me gag, brother.
And when they bundled up together, it's like a trash pile. You know.
I feel bad laughing, but I mean, trash pile?
For real.
Huh? And is the term BBL baddie really commonly used?
Yes, it is.
This is the first I've heard of the term BBL baddie.
Not all of them, but you gotta understand, it's like physics. If you was a chick that was like, all right, 150, right? 150 pounds, and then you got a BBL. So the BBL made you probably like 170, 180. You're not used to that go around.
Okay, so if you have a BBL, fat is taken from one part of the body and injected into the butt. So you're removing fat and then putting it back in, and then some of that fat will once again go away. Your body will absorb it.
How about you just fucking do some squats? Eat some cornbread and do some squats, bruh. Don't fucking do surgery. I mean, if you want to, you can obviously do it. Do whatever you want with your body. It's not my body. It's your body. Your body, your choice, whatever. But me personally, it just freaks me out. I'm not trying to get surgery ever. Like, if I have to, obviously I will, but I don't know. All this just kind of freaks me out, bro. Just do some squats. Do some natural workouts. It looks 10 times better. It always looks strange when somebody gets a big-ass BBL and then they got them little Slim Jim legs. It never looks good.
So you are removing fat and then putting it back in, and then some of that fat will once again go away. Your body will absorb it. You are not adding 20 pounds of somebody else's fat to your body. So if you weigh 150 pounds before your BBL, unless you gain weight naturally by eating too much and not, moving enough, you're not going to go from 150 to 170 just because you had a BBL. It's not physics that way. That, unfortunately or fortunately, is not true.
You feel me? That hand to back motion, you're not used to that extra 20 pounds back there. So
when
you cleaning
with a sponge
on
it,
a few little specks. You feel me? I know a chick, she be doing waxing and she be saying them BBL baddies be coming in with specks, and the thong was supposed to be blue but it's brown in certain sections because they can't get that go around. You understand me? So yeah, that BBL do got a smell.
I mean, if I'm going to get my ass waxed and I know somebody's going to be staring at that thing, You best believe I'm power washing it before I get there. I'm not showing up with no crusty cheeks. You're crazy.
So, yeah, that BBL do got a smell.
I love how he speaks with such confidence as if he is an expert at this stuff.
As someone who's Dominican, I'm going to explain the BBL smell.
So it sounds like she is an authority on BBLs and why BBL surgery may cause somebody to smell bad because she's Dominican.
The smell doesn't come from the butt or from the vag. The smell comes from the fat excretions that are coming out.
Do tell more. Fat.
See, that's what I was like kind of thinking before I clicked on this. I thought it would be like I didn't know how BBLs were made. I know back in the day they used to put all types of chemicals and shit, so I just thought it was some weird chemical smell or like some oil leaking out or some shit. But the fat excretion or whatever the fuck she just said, that sounds disgusting. Probably smell like a McDonald's down there.
The smell comes from the fat excretions that are coming out.
Do tell more. Fat excretions?
So when women have liposuctions and BBLs, about 3 weeks later, all the way up to 3 weeks later, they have excretions, actually grease, that comes out of their body, and
That
it
is
has a
fucked.
putrid smell.
So why would an incision drain
Putrid.
putrid smell 3 weeks after an operation? The only real reason why is if it's actually infected. An infection is going to cause a whole lot more issues than a smell. Now, it's very common after liposuction or a BBL surgery to get a little bit of drainage for a day or two, maybe 3 days at the longest after an operation like this. You know, we get that fluid that we inject that will help to reduce bleeding that can kind of seep out through these incisions. But it's
I'm sorry I'm pausing it so much, but can you imagine you hitting it from the back and you get that infected back shot wind? That infected McDonald's grease trap? All right, I'm sorry. I'll keep pausing it.
that we inject that will help to reduce bleeding that can kind of seep out through these incisions. But it's not necessarily fat that is coming out. And if it smells as bad as she's saying, then yes, you got to worry about an infection. That is not common.
So the BBL smell is not because of women's pH balance. It's not because they don't shower. It's simply because it's fat excretions that are still coming out weeks after the surgery is finally done.
Now, I know she's Dominican, but I don't think that this is true.
Okay, this young lady said, y'all be saying anything. BBLs don't produce a smell. If somebody stinks, it's personal hygiene. That is completely false and untrue.
So he definitely knows. And we're going back to the first guy in the
probably a
video who
mix.
said that BBL stinks. So let's find out why he thinks that these stink, because he seems like he is definitely an authority at this.
As a matter of fact, you see one of the side effects of a BBL is,
Ain't nobody fucking reading that shit. That shit's backwards as fuck.
matter of fact, you see one of the side effects of a BBL is fat necrosis, which produces an excretion of the fat that was put in, and it smells. Another lady in my comments confirms that she had a BBL and had to wait 4 months before she could do anything because of the excretions.
So fat necrosis is a known complication
Locked up in the house, stinking, boy.
Of the excretions.
So fat necrosis is a known complication of BBL and any type of fat grafting surgery. And essentially what it is it's fat that dies. Now, most of the time when fat necroses, it can either liquefy and the body absorbs it,
this.
or it can actually turn into a hard mass that oftentimes doesn't get reabsorbed at all. But I have never heard of fat necrosis draining through incisions and smelling really, really bad. And if fat necroses, it doesn't necessarily leak out through incisions unless, let's say, there was some type of an infection causing that incision to open up. So I've really enjoyed all these TikTokers' theories about the BBL smell, especially how
Makes
they
my
present them
skin
with
crawl.
such confidence. It cracks me up, and I really got to give them a round of applause because that was a lot of fun. So what do I believe the BBL smell comes from? Well, I believe that most
That
likely it's
ass,
due
boy.
to personal hygiene. And if it's not due to personal hygiene, then the other potential cause of a bad smell after BBL is an infection, which hopefully is not true because that can be life-threatening, or maybe they didn't wash their compression garment very often. Most patients who undergo this operation have to wear a compression garment for several weeks, sometimes longer after the operation, and they wear them oftentimes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you're not washing that garment regularly, it can stink. So I don't think that everybody who has a BBL smells bad. And one good example of somebody who I think had a BBL, and I don't think she smells bad, is Kim Kardashian. And take
It probably stanky as all get out, brother.
a peek at this video right up here where I go over what I think is going on with Kim Kardashian's rear end. And remember, eat real food, use clean skincare, and auto-rejuvenate before you operate.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to click on that video right now, boss, but I don't know, man. Like, don't get me wrong. I've seen some people get, like, minor surgeries that are, like, little enhancements, but they also, like, work out with it, and it looks good. But, like, some of these ladies are like, I'm going to go get liposuction, a tummy tuck, a BBL, and then I'm just going to go to fucking Burger King and eat 10 Whoppers, and then they wonder why their body looks disfigured and shit. It's like, bruh, if you work on your body like that, you have to keep working. You can't just, like, let it go to waste. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of cons to the BBL. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm stupid as hell, but I don't know. It just sounds bad. But anyways, I think I'm going to stop my dumb ass from rambling on. If y'all want to watch some more videos, click over here, like the video, share it with y'all's homies if they're thinking about getting that BBL. But other than that, I'll see y'all later. Peace.